They call me untouchable. It's the perfect way to go into a double header. The first against our big rivals, the Angus Derby or Arbroath. The other thing is, we've passed another coaching badge, and because the board love us so much, they've paid for the next one. We're rallying through these and setting ourselves with a good potential for the future. Hello my friends, and welcome to episode 13 of The Wanderer, our Football Manager 2018 Let's Play Journeyman series. We're still with Forfar. We've just completed our Continental C licence, which puts us on our Continental B licence, which, as you can see at the top here, the board have already agreed to set us through because we're doing such a good job, was the reason they said. So it's a good time to come and have a look at our stats though. So we're 8s and 9s across the board almost, apart from level of discipline, which seems to be stuck again this year, unfortunately. Fitness is 4, Morecambe with youngsters again seems to be stuck. Adaptability also seems to be stuck, that's also at 6, which we started at 6 on that. Reputation going somewhere, we're at 1 star. Media handling, middle, that's not surprising. To be honest, I very rarely talk to media. Tactical consistency is quite high, that also doesn't surprise me, you know. Hands-on approach, 70%, I'm a bit surprised at that. Managing finances, it's going up, we're at 59%, that was really low after Merzin. Handling team discipline, which you would expect would improve level of discipline. We are at 65%, loyalty to players, 45%, again because of Merzin, I'm not surprised that's low. Domestic player bias, expect that to be quite high, we're restricted to Turkish only players at Merzin, and predominantly Scottish players here at Forfar, 75% on that. Best opinion is Darren Dodds. He's the current Brecon manager. I believe he was the Forfar manager a couple of years ago. And Igor Tugor has the worst opinion of us. He is the previous Galatasaray manager. Was also a bit annoyed that I didn't play all his loan players. So he has a fairly poor opinion of me. We're also going to go into the squad dynamics. As you see, dressing room atmosphere extremely good. Managerial support extremely good. Match cohesion's a bit meh. Not really surprising because of the amount of players we brought in over this season. But if you look at Heresy, click here, look at all the players that support us, including the 2 team leaders, 50% of the highly influential players, and all our influential players. So that's a good place to start. We have a look at, where is it? Happiness, social groups, no. Overview. It's somewhere, and it's somewhere in here. I don't want to click that. Happiness is all good. So is it here maybe? Relationships, here we go. So we're distant with Declan Milne, who was a player. We're distant with Scott Ross. We just released him on a mutual termination. Didn't cost us a penny. I'm actually glad to be rid of him, to be honest. As you see, our scouts count him as 24%. So he played 1 game for us, if I remember correctly. It was a cup game. Non-competitive, 10 with 2 off the bench. That was youth games. 1 cup game with a 5.8. Sums it up, really. Rest, players that are poor relationship with me, Grant Adam. Unfortunately, I felt he could have been a really good backup for us, but that injury's killed him. Simon Ferry we have contact with. So contact, we have a lot of key players, but very close to Mark McCallum and Alan Suter, who is a new youth player. That brings me on to the next thing that we're going to talk about is youth intake. So intake, search please. So we've got James McCallum. He's a goalkeeper, no relation to Mark McCallum, but you know, we've brought him in. Unambitious, I don't like. We brought in Stuart Naismith as well. We've got to retrain him as an advanced playmaker in this kind of role here. You know, he's not the best, not the worst. Maybe could turn into something. If at worst, he makes the club some money. Don't believe we went near this guy. I can't remember all the guys that we're going to go through, so we're going to go through them all. Liam Maxwell we didn't bring in. Craig Fulton we didn't bring in. David Wilson we did. Very excited again. I'm going to retrain him as a deep line playmaker and hold him midfielder role. Quite excited to see how he develops. My scouts, my staff rather, were extremely excited by this kid, so hopefully he can develop into something very, very good. Ewan McDonald we didn't go near. Alan Suter, as you've seen, very close to him. Very good aerial defender, striker rather. Might actually set him up 6'7" with 15 jumping reach. Do you know what? Let's get him training as a target man. It'll shout me for doing this. Yes, but only this time, because he could be an absolute monster of a target man. Scott Russell we didn't go near. We went Gutley, he is a fullback. Decent, again not brilliant right now, again unambitious. Is Alan Suter unambitious? No, he's fairly sporting. Mark Tough, professional, but we didn't go near him. We because he's not going to be good enough. Declan Gordon we brought in, centre back, can play full back as well, but he's not got any of the beer near the pace. It's decent in the air though, so it could be a Luca Gasparotto type player. Graham Wallace, I don't remember his name, but I think we did sign him. I'm going to guess what we did, given he says he's got a contract, so we did. Scott Robertson, I don't think we got him, no we didn't. Brian Smith, didn't go near him. And Ross Davidson, who we also snapped up as a winger, we're going to retrain him as a right midfielder because that makes sense to do. Yes, but only this time. Hate how it does that. So that's our youth intake. So as you see, we've got our new thing, but we are untouchable, as you'll see just above me right now. Under our wage budget as well, committed spending quite a bit below where we are. In fact, wage budget's going to go down. Predicted for the wage budget to go up rather, but our committed spending goes down next season. Other than that, the only other thing that really is of relevance is Gary Wood is injured for 8 days to 4 weeks. He's been such a key player for us. I know he's only 2-star, and my staff really don't rate this guy. He's a decent player for most League 2 sides, but if you look at him, I'll need to go in because I don't have a view that shows this. 26 appearances, 13 goals, 4 assists, 3 player of the matches, 7.27 average rating. You know, he's been an absolute monster for us. For a guy that was playing non-league football, very, very delighted to have him. He's not really ever played at this. In fact, this is the first season. If you look at all his history, he's either played higher or lower. He's never played at this level before, which I find quite intriguing. However, I've also adjusted corner and throw-in tactics. Corner I've not adjusted too much. I just swapped a couple of people around, and I created a second tactic that is the exact same as the first one, just I'm throwing it into the penalty box. So far it's not really created anything, but it's just to try and mix it up and try and get the AI defending the corners differently to make the predominant tactic, routine 1, much more efficient. Schedule, so this is the last thing we need to go through. So the last game we played Stranraer. In the last episode we played Albion Rovers and Stranraer, scored 7 goals for you in that episode, which was quite a nice episode to go with. We then beat Dumbarton 4-0. Easton, Gasparotto, Gary Wood and Ryan Bapp on the score sheet. And then it was 4-2 to Brecon. I'm going to show you the match stats for this game. We were absolutely dominant of them. Going to analysis, as you see, they had 4 shots on target. I can't really say much more than that. Every time they went forward and hit the target, they scored. We absolutely battered them for the full 90 and could only put 2 past their goalkeeper, unfortunately. Then played Rafe, who were top of the league. Beat them 4-1. You know, first half they were the better team. I'm not going to lie, we nicked a goal in the first half. We went in at half time 1-0 up. I brought on Dean Ritchie for Mark Miller. Mark Miller was tied in. And we scored again on the counter. Shane, but we were much better in the second half. We were probably the better team. They scored against the run of play through Shane Sutherland. He hit the post, it came back to him. Nobody had responded, and he had an open goal to hit. And then they went for it, and we basically just took advantage of that in the space as we were coming forward on counter attacks. But I want to show you this Dean Ritchie goal. In game, I changed my corner tactic to try and waste time. I wanted the guy just to hold it in the corner, but this was the result of holding it in the corner. So McFadden takes the corner, plays it to Brady. He plays a brilliant pass to Ritchie, who first time hits it into the bottom corner. The first time when he passed it, I was like, what the F are you doing? Why are you not holding the corner? That's kind of what I want you to do. That's why I've put you there. And we're not ready at game time, so I do apologise. I thought it was at game time, but we've got to go through all this. I was like, what are you doing? Not keeping it in the corner. And Dean Ritchie hits it first time right into that bottom corner, and I was like, well, it wasn't what I had the intention of doing, but it worked. It was very, very successful. I was very, very happy with it. So that brings us on to today's episode, which I'm just rambling now because I'm not probably right up to game time. Now we're there. Need to make a couple of changes because of Gary Wood's injury, but overall, I'm extremely, extremely happy. We're going to bring Jordan Allen in here. With that, you know, it was, as I said, a time-wasting tactic, just have it in that corner. At that point, I think, when I'd done that change, we were 2-1 up. And they were coming at us quite hard. And I was like, I just want us to waste time. We can nick a corner. He's going to send the assistant. it'll be good, excuse me, that we can just have it in that corner and they can't do anything. And he passed the ball and I'm like, as I said, what are you doing? And then Dean Ritchie heads in. I was like, well, not what I wanted, but it works. We've got our game wrapped up. At that point, I think that made it 4-1. Game was over. They got one back, but it was ruled offside. It was quite a clear offside, to be fair. There was complaints after the game about it, but for me, it was a cut and dry offside decision. Just giving them a little bit of encouragement here. 0-0 against our biggest rivals, but they are pretty much fighting against relegation. Only a point or two above that relegation zone, but they've got a corner here with Taylor. McCord whips it, heads it in. McCallum equal to it. Not really happy with that. What a boring first half this has been. I've hyped the intro of this video in so much, probably spent about 2 or 3 minutes. In fact, I will check it already. We're 10 minutes into this video and it's a double header. Not including the bit that I've got the intro and whatnot, but hopefully you guys understand. McFadden wins a header. Scott away. Rather he brought it down there, but I get the logic. Whiteley to Cox. Back to Waitley, rather. That's a decent effort, you know. I think McCallum might have just about had it covered, but rather it goes wide. Very frustrated. This is what I don't like about this Brady-Critchley partnership. Off the bench, they play so well together, but as a start, they just never ever seem to get going, and it doesn't work, and I don't know why. I'm going to go aggressive. I'm not happy with the performance out there because I'm not. Easton nicks Miller's pass. O'Neill, he's been a bit hit and miss. Was great in every game apart from the Brecon game where he was awful, and that's frustrating for me. Brings it out. O'Neill to Easton. Back to Scott. Brady. Scott again. Can he get a decent ball in? It's an interesting ball in. Brought away. Mark Miller picks up. Back to Scott. Can he get a better ball in this time? No, he's going to finish it. 1-0 up to the Loons. Happy, happy days. We're going to bring Richie on for Miller just because he's tired in. McFadden seems to be tired in as well. I really hope I'm pronouncing that right. Go and let me know how you pronounce that name. I think it is McFadden. That's kind of what I want to go with, but it doesn't feel right. We're going to bring on Alan for Brady, who's having an absolute shocker. Go and let me make that change, please. Thank you. It looks like we missed a highlight in making that change, but nothing came of it, so that's good. McFadden tiring, Easton tiring, defence all tiring. Trying to make the best decision now for when to sub on and who to sub on and when to do it. It's Critchley that does it. Back to Allen. Oh, he's just about holding his own, but despite all this, we pass it out the box when we just need to turn and shoot. Scott whips it in to Allen. Held by the goalkeeper. We're going to bring on Murray, I think, from McFadden. He's not. Easton's playing slightly better. They're similar sort of things, and I don't like changing my back four unless I have to. So we're going to make the midfield change rather than the attacking, the winger change rather than the attacking. But playmaker change, and oh my God, what a ball that was by Craig Murray into Taylor. Go to McKellar's mistake. I'm not convinced there was much of a mistake there by McKellar. You know, it was a wicked ball in. I'm going to give them a demand more. Come on, let me get it, please. See if we can get something. Corner. I've changed my corner. Throw-in routines, rather. Comes into Critchley. Oh, beautiful finish from Jordan Critchley. He's just signed a new contract with Rangers. I would love to get him on loan next season, but I really don't think it's possible. League table-wise, as you see, we're sitting in 4th right now. Well above the falling out of playoffs now. We're 6 points clear of Stranraer at time of me saying that. Obviously, that's including these results. And we're closer to the team that's top of the division than we are to Stranraer. So that's also good as Critchley. Oh, it's just over the bar. We're going to make some adjustments here. McCallum, add instruction. Slow the pace down. Confirm changes, please. Anyone playing particularly great or bad? Because I would maybe play out to him. Another throw in though. Throwed into Jordan Allen. Out to Dean Ritchie. Back to Jordan Allen. Oh, it's a decent ball across, but nobody responds to it in blue. Critchley comes out and wins it though. Waters to Ritchie. Back to Mark Scott. Dylan Easton slowing the reaction there. And we're going to be caught in the break. Gasparotto, can he get there? McCord's gone round him though. That pace of Gasparotto and acceleration really coming to hurt him on these counter attacks. But it's played back forward. Critchley now. He's done well. Dylan Easton. Oh, he's played it at the perfect time to Jordan Allen. It's 3-1. That should be game over now. That should seal our gap away from the mid-table, if you like. You see, we're 1 point off Rafe, 2 points off Brecon, 5 off Airdrie, so I think we're a point closer to Airdrie than we are to Stranraer. And I think we've got to play Airdrie and maybe Brecon again. I know we've played all our games against Rafe with a very good record of winning 3 and losing 1. But all our points have been lost against the teams like Arbroath and East Fife, really. We have lost to all the teams above us. In fact, I think we've lost at least once to every team in the league, and twice to Arbroath. So we've lost points where we shouldn't have lost points, which has been the difference between us being near the top and near the bottom, near the top and sort of where we are, rather, I should say. Overall, very good performance there. I brought on Connor Murray instead of Ryan Bapty there on that left wing. That probably wasn't the cleverest move. Done that by mistake. It worked out. Let's say it worked out and I meant it. Anyway, we're going to skip to this game against Clyde. I'll be there in just a second. I am bringing you back between the games, and literally it's right after the last game. I forgot to mention one little thing, but this has just came up. There's been no talk of any takeover happening up until this exact point. So a local businessman has put a bid in for the club, believed to be wanting to wipe out the club debts. Now, if we go to finances and debts and loans, we do have a few, but you know, it's been more than manageable to pay off. We've got them for another couple of years, till 2022, but as I said, it's been extremely manageable to pay off. Missed debt interest only payment is one of them, and a bank loan. So it seems like we've not paid a debt in the past, and we've got an interest payment on that to pay off. And we've got a bank loan, but financially we're in great shape, so I'm a bit confused. Chairman said he was never interested in selling the club until now. I've really enjoyed this chairman as well, so I'm a little bit disappointed with this, to be honest. And it may encourage me to move on if this new chairman is not as good as the previous one, because everything I have asked of the chairman, what's his name, Ken Stewart, he's been like, yep, you're doing a great job. I think the one thing he's refused was youth facilities improvement and full-time status, both for financial reasons, which was more than understandable. I sort of asked him on a whim. But overall, everything I've asked, I've asked for God knows how many coaching badges now. He's gave me every single one. I've asked for so many different things, and even more recently, went and said to him, "Can I have another coach, please?" He was like, "No," and I was like, "But listen, we'll be able to work more specialised. We'll be able to work harder into our full potential." And actually, good point. When you go, I'll let you know. And he said, "Right, have another coach." So we brought in David Binney, and this was the thing that I forgot to tell you about before the Arbroath game. Excuse me. So we brought in David Binney. He's come from Stenhousemuir, who are League 2, I think. Indeed. There was a choice between him and a guy from Elgin, who are also League 2. And it was very, very close on which one I went for. And I went for David Binney just because he was slightly better in goalkeeping stats. The other lad was better in the mental. And I'm not sure what the best option to go for there was. So just the fact that takeover actually happened, that reminded me to do this. So just to show you, we now have 2 stars in goalkeeping, which also allows us to focus on attacking and shooting and developing that, which is where I want my manager to be developing long term. Welcome back, my friends. We're just going into the game. Takeover talks seem to be going up and down. We've had 3 or 4 messages, one saying, first one was the next day from the last bit saying it was on the rocks. Then we got one a couple of days later saying it was close. Then we got another one saying it was on the rocks. And then the last one, which is what I'm going with right now, is saying it was close. To date, we are taking on Clyde. They're 7th in the league. Decent team, good team, a lot of potential about Clyde. But more thing I'm going to say about Clyde is if you want to know more about them, or you're interested in just Scottish saves in general, or even journeyman saves, go and check out Knock It Wide. I'll leave a link to his channel down below. I mentioned him at the end of the last episode when we were doing this. He is doing a journeyman. He started with Clyde. He's still currently there at the time of recording. It's going to be a couple of days before this video is out, so I might not still be there in time of release, but trust me, he's there just now. But go check him out. He does a phenomenal series, and it is one of the few series that I actually watch religiously. So that maybe shows you that when I watch 3 or 4 series religiously total on all the FM content, and I'm dropping in and out of others, the kind of level I have his content on is that somehow not in the back of the net. No idea what went on in that corner, but it scrambled and it went out. I thought it was going in. We're going to give them a bit of encouragement, try and knock them up a bit. Really not happy with this performance. We have struggled against Clyde this season previously, but we should be beating them. Mark Scott coming down the right just now. It's a decent ball in for Jordan Allen. Critchley's picked up an injury, so we're playing with Allen and Brady. That skipped the top of the bar from Anton Brady. McDonald whips it in. Belmakta, oh, he's played it back to one top. Gasparotto away, monster in the air. Look at Gasparotto, really want to sign him for next year. It's a great ball from Scott, and Anton Brady's in. It's a fine save from Blair Curry. Easton whips it in, it's cleared away. Mark Miller's going to pick up. Can he recycle it in? No, he can't. McDonald, Clyde on the counter now. It's picked up by Chris O'Neill well. Waters throws it into Easton. Back to Miller, back to Easton. Oh, he's turned his back on it at the last minute. Miller wins it though. But nobody following up. The whole team just sleeping there, and Somerville is now breaking. Miller tackles again. McKellar picks up this time. Can he play it down the wing? He does indeed, and he finds McFadzean. Brian Easton is in behind for nobody. Blair Curry launching away. Chris O'Neill back to Mark Scott. Feel like there's something coming at the end of this highlight. I hope it's for us. Plays forward for Allen. Cleared away. Miller. McFadzean. It's a decent ball in for Anton Brady. Straight Blair Curry. You're going to tell me you played all that highlight just for that, haven't you? You have. That's a bit frustrating. 6 shots, 4 on target. You know, we're not doing too badly here. McFadzean heads it inside. Duffy clears. Oh, that's an absolute monster clearance. And Somerville was the man that's in. McCallum equal to it. Scott McKellar launches it into touch. Good defending after a good save from McCallum. Was hit straight at him, but still got to be there to save it. Brady having a horror show. In fact, he's the only guy that really looks fit in my team though. 6.3 for him and Callum Waters right now. Going to go in aggressive here. A couple of teams above us playing each other, so this is a really good time for us to go and stamp a mark to move up the league. Easton, O'Neill, Scott, back to Dylan Easton. Oh, not convinced with that pass, but Anton Brady comes and saves it. Jordan Allen, McFadzean's just slept on that pass. Chris O'Neill picks it up. Miller, end of highlight. Don't really understand those highlights. I feel like nothing comes of them. Going to bring off Mark Miller again. This is why I like having a good holding midfielder on the bench, because Mark Miller tires so easily. He's just not got the fitness to last a full 90 minutes. He's a great player for about 50-60 minutes, and then you have to sub him off. I'm going to bring off Dylan Easton as well. He's not having a great game and he's starting to tire, so Ryan Stevenson will come on. Got quite a lot of faith in Ryan Stevenson. He's maybe not quite the same level as Dylan Easton as a player, but you know, he does well when he comes off the bench, and he's done well when he's had chances to play normally as well. It's over the top, but McFadzean should be the man that gets there. He's got a man in front of him, but he decides to launch it clear instead. Brady does well to win it. Ritchie to Stevenson. He's got Brady alongside, he finds him, and it goes for Jordan Allen. Can he take a touch? Oh, it's wide of the post. Jordan Allen on his left foot. He hasn't had a whole lot of game time. He's getting some game. Gary Wood is starting to get back to playing time now, so hopefully we'll see him back soon. But Jordan Allen being restricted a lot by Gary Wood, and in general, it's maybe showing a bit in his finishing there. He does play a good pass here into Anton Brady. It's another good save from Blair Curry. We're going to have to bring on Critchley. I'm not sure who. It's an obvious choice. It's Brady's having an absolute shocker at 6.1. McFadzean whips it in. It's cleared away. Rich is going to pick this up though eventually. Plays it back to McFadzean. And it's Ryan Stevenson. It's blocked away. Back in again from McFadzean. And it's Luca Gasparotto of all people at the front post. Still in there from the corner. And he's tucked it home for his third of the season. We're going to continue with our tactical change after the goal. Yes, we are. We're also going to start wasting some time through Mark McCallum. Slow the pace down. usual business from him. Critchley's obviously come on with a knock, so I'm not expecting huge works from him, but it can't be any worse than Anton Brady's 6.1. That's a great clearance. McKellar's got to win that. He does, but nobody's in the area that he can head it to. Scott with a great challenge. McFadzean away. Jordan Critchley knocks it onto Jordan Allen. He's done well to hold it up, but then refuses to pass it when everyone's running past him. Thompson. It's in. McKellar's missed it. Oh, and McCallum's it's gone past McCallum. Tactical changes. Let's get that wasting time down. Cross it off. Get confirmed changes. Yes. Their keeper's made so many great saves. And I needed McKellar just to win that in the air there. It's not the best in the air, to be fair. McKellar, he's that guy that I like as a pacey defender. I like to have one pacey and one good in the air. Ideally have both, but we're not at the level where we have the luxury of having both as well. Someone who can actually tackle the ball. So you have to have one or the other with that, really. It's over the top. Gasparotto's slow. Oh, great recovery challenge from Luca Gasparotto. He couldn't win it in the air at the angle it came over. When it came down, he's managed to recover it and get a brilliant tackle, and Stewart throws it in. Mackenzie, Dean Ritchie in there, but Mark Scott's tackled him, cleared away to Jordan Allen. Not been impressed with his performance today, but he does indeed play it to Ryan Stevenson this time. Jordan Critchley's going to pick it up. It's a poor effort from the on-loan Rangers man who's been so instrumental for us this season. Looks like we're just going to pick up a point, which is frustrating when I think it was Rafe and Airgy were playing each other. It was really our chance to gain on the teams above us. It's only our 4th draw of the season. We've got a friendly against Middlesbrough coming up next. We're obviously not going to show that. And we'll be back for the last 2 games of the season, if I remember my record plan correctly. I will confirm all that in just a minute when we get through this loan screen. By the way, if you're ever considering doing a journeyman, this is the issue you have to deal with, is these slow loading screens. Which is why I removed some leagues that I'm not interested in managing any anymore, and I will probably do some more of that towards the end of this season. But there's some countries that I want to go to that I'm not quite sure I'm ready for the top job in yet, so that's why I've kept them. I will keep all the leagues in Scotland and England League 2 and above, just to see how they develop with us. So yeah, 2 points there puts us 2 points off top with Airdrie and Rafe playing each other. In fact, would put us so close, it's unreal. Ouch, what a way not to be in that promotion battle. We're still 4 points clear of Stranraer and 4 points behind Airdrie after that disappointing result against Knockout Wide's Clyde. So schedule, am I correct in saying that we're back at the end of the season? We are at Stranraer and Brecon that we're finishing off the season with, so teams that are around us. So that will dictate where we finish. We've got Airdrie next, East Fife, Albion Rovers and Dumbarton between now and then. So we'll hopefully catch you in the next episode. We'll find out if we make the playoffs. Find out if we can maybe push for that automatic promotion slot as well. I'll hopefully catch you then. Thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, hit like, hit subscribe, and I'll catch you all next time.